Welcome back to episode 16 of Chambers Chatter. I'm Laura Chambers Babalis. And I'm Shae Chambers Helms. Today we're super excited to introduce Mike McFee to the show. He's most well known for his deep local roots within the community and his public service. Mike, thank you so much for joining us today. How are you?
Pleasure. Happy to be here. Finally.
Yeah, I know. Thank you.
Long time coming.
For sure. So kind of going to start at the beginning. I know you've got some deep roots here in Beaufort. Kind of tell us a little bit about you and your family.
My mother's family has been here for a number of generations, and we grew up back and forth from Beaufort when I was in elementary school and junior high school and so forth. My dad was a naval doctor, so we traveled a lot, moved a good bit. Numbers of my 6 brothers and sisters were 2 of us were born here and 4 of us were born elsewhere, just according to what duty station we were at the time.
Sure.
So it's a scattered family, but Beaufort's always been home for us. Even when as long as we lived in the U.S., when Daddy was stationed elsewhere, we came here for the summers. My grandparents had a beach house at Hunting Island, and so we would come back, and I'm now paying for it with skin cancers. But, yeah.
God, they had a beach house at Hunting. None of them exist anymore, do they?
Washed away in 79.
Yeah. Oh, gosh. So, that's a core memory, though. How cool.
A lot of good times on Hunting Island, though. It's changed a lot, especially since Matthew.
There weren't a lot of homes ever out there, were there?
Yeah.
Oh, there
Actually,
were? Okay.
When I was preteen and teen, there were probably about 50 homes.
50?
Plus the cabins.
Oh, I thought like 20 max. Wow.
No, there were a lot of houses out there.
Was it on the camping side?
On the south side towards Fripp.
Okay.
Where the lagoon is now?
Yeah.
There were houses where the lagoon is now.
Okay.
But yeah, there were a lot. The Nightshes, the Kinghorns.
Yeah.
Rosses. There are so many people that had, of course, long ago.
I guess there was one standing when I was still alive, but no one lived in it, of course. But I do.
We're not going to talk about birth dates, are we?
No.
No, it was. So we spent a lot of time at Hunting Island and at my grandparents' on the Point, and when we weren't living here. But my father became personnel officer at the Naval Hospital back in the 60s before he went to Vietnam, and we had a permanent home here from that time forward.
Okay. What are some of your favorite childhood memories growing up in Beaufort?
Oh, in Beaufort? Oh. Playing baseball on the front green with the Calhouns and Conroys, and had a lot of families that lived on the Point that were a lot family-wise. Pat was older than me, but was still in high school at the time, and Tim and I are contemporaries, so we would play and knock around on the Point and stuff. So those are good ones. But I think probably my grandmother giving me directions to go to Cohen's Bakery up on Prince Street to get bread and some other stuff, but I could always get a cream horn as my dessert, as my
Your treat for going?
prize for going, yeah. So those are great memories. And that house, of course, is the William Wiggs Barnwell house that was moved to King Street on the corner of King and East Street.
Oh, okay.
And that was renovated there, but that used to be Cohen's Bakery on
so
Prince
cool.
Street.
Okay.
In the Baptist Church parking lot.
Oh, that's super cool. So how old were you when you permanently moved back to Beaufort?
Well, we bought a house about 67, 68 here, but my father didn't retire until the 80s. So we still moved, other than when I was in college, I didn't go with him. I was in D.C. for a while, and then I was at Carolina. But after 67, he was stationed here, as my mother would say, as frequently as it could be. So he ran the dispensary at Paris Island. He ran the dispensary at Marine Corps Air Station. He was personal officer, then executive officer. And then they went to New River, North Carolina, his final duty station. He was the CO at New River Naval Hospital there. So, and then they retired and were here after, I guess, about 82 or 83. They permanently retired here to the house. But my mom made sure that any opportunity that he had to be stationed here, we were stationed here. So
that is too funny. And then, so you went to D.C., went to college, and then how old were you when you came back?
When I graduated from Carolina, I worked first for the Bank of Beaufort, General Forsyth, Claude Surface, great group of people. The Dowlings on the board of directors, a lot of fun old Beaufort names that were on the old Bank of Beaufort board. Worked on an apprenticeship program and then into the trust department with the bank. So I graduated from Carolina in 79, 80. My master's in 81. So, and I had already been working for the bank. The bank actually helped me finish my master's while I was working for the bank. And then worked for them until about 85 or 6. Then moved to Carolina Management Corporation. Got my real estate license when I was in the bank I was handling all the real estate transactions for the trust department. And so I got all of my real estate license at that time and then my broker's license in 85.
Wow.
So this is my 40th year.
Wow. That's a long time.
40th year as a broker and about 44 years in real estate. So
That's amazing.
to some degree.
Yeah.
Then left the bank in the third merger with, I think, South Carolina National, or it may have been Wachovia. And then Carolina Management Corp., which owned the Century 21, along with Coastal Contractors and Carolina Management, and then worked with them until Pat and I opened Hometown in 91.
Amazing. Yeah. I did not realize y'all jointly opened that. There you go. I love that.
Ancient.
I love that.
And you're pretty heavily involved in the community in Beaufort. So when did you get involved in the community?
You know, I have been for many, many years in my yearbook, and I graduated from Beaufort High School. I ended up being back here in my last 2 years of high school, so I graduated from my mom and my grandmother's alma mater, which I was very proud of. But in my yearbook, it said, in honor of my mother, my willingness to get involved.
Oh.
And so my parents always impressed upon us that it was important to give back. And so subsequently, I've always been involved through the church, through American Red Cross, Alzheimer's Family Services, Chamber of Commerce. I was president for 2 terms for the chamber, and still always had a willingness and a desire to have roots and involvement in the community. So, and that's always been part of what I do, and I still do it, needless to say. So, and then made that decision to go into public service at a time, which was a challenge.
You've been in public service for a minute now.
Yeah, since 2008. So 18 years, but.
What made you want to jump into that?
I guess part of that, just willingness to be involved, or want to be involved. I think at the time they were doing annexation of Clarendon, and I wasn't really sure that was the direction the city needed to be going. I had been pretty outspoken as past chairman of the chamber about urban sprawl and other, smart growth words. But so a friend of mine said, why don't you get more involved? And I said, well, I can do that. And so between a core of friends that encouraged me, and I ran for the first term in 2008, and I've been there ever since. So
That's amazing. Anything you're super proud of that's happened in your tenure, or any fun projects to share or
on
talk
the council?
about? Mm-hmm.
On council? Oh, we have done so much from the civic standpoint as far as the parks in Beaufort. Historically, of course, the Henry C. Chambers Park, which right now we're working on, and it'll all be good. But that's always been, of course, that was well established and had been done, of course, when I was in high school. But I was part of the council that did the renovations on the park, and contrary to some popular belief, we have been very, very cognizant of the needs of the park and have been watching it over the years. And some of the failures that we're seeing now on the relieving platform were not wholly surprising, but the speed with which they happened was not what we were expecting from the engineers that have been giving us information over the years. But
Yeah.
we know how important the gem of the Sea Islands are, and we're not about to let it go away. So
Would you say it's probably been one of your biggest challenges on council?
That's been one of our biggest challenges for sure.
Yeah.
Or at least one of the ones that we know will be the most expensive. I mean, Boundary Street Master Plan happened after we were after I was on council, although the master plan had been approved before I went on council, technically. But the construction of it and the redo of Boundary Street was a big project for us during that time. That was the TIF district and the cooperative effort between the Highway Department and the county and Beaufort. It was a really good project, a really great, well-done project. So
It really was.
That's been a huge facelift as far as the entrance into the city. So that I'm very proud of as well.
Have you been only serving city council for 18 years? Have you switched different positions?
I have been on council I think I was on council for 4 years, became mayor pro tem.
Okay.
Have served as mayor pro tem, and then served as mayor for 5 months.
Okay.
When Stephen Murray stepped down.
That's right.
And then Phil Cromer took the unexpired term and then was reelected. But I've maintained being mayor pro tem from that time forward. So I went from council to mayor pro tem to mayor pro tem. And I'm not going back to mayor. So we're good.
Go with that.
Phil's not going anywhere.
That's amazing. And I feel like I could be mistaken, but aren't you fairly involved with the Performing Arts Center as well?
I have been. For the Repertory Theater, Bonnie Hargrove, the director there, and I are good friends, and I've been in a number of productions. There is a little bit of a thespian background in my family, and musical. I've been in a lot of musical theater and have enjoyed it. I was in a musical theater at Carolina in my junior year, which was my stupid willingness to get involved because I was way over my head, but had a great time. And the drama department was very generous because I was not a drama student, but somebody knew that I could sing, and they needed somebody for South Pacific. And so I got to be in South Pacific, and I was, once again, way out of my league for the people that I was performing with, but because they were stunning and really amazing, and I was a total novice. I mean, but I could sing, but more so far. But that was a lot of fun. But I've always enjoyed the performing arts, been a big supporter of them, and with the renovations, and the city has helped with a lot of the renovations over time. So it's a great asset to the city. It really is.
I agree. I feel like I always see your name around somewhere in the Performing Arts Center. You got any upcoming performances?
We have 9 to 5 is coming up.
Ooh.
Yeah, we're doing a reprieve of the 9 to 5, and it's a wholly different cast, of course, but it'll be a lot of fun. And then I don't think I'm speaking out of turn to talk about we're doing a Sondheim Into the Woods musical next year. And Bonnie's asked if I will help with that. I'm not sure where I'm going to be in that. Might be behind the scenes, but I'm excited about that. Stephen Sondheim is a great, playwright and musician. He's evil, but he's great, especially to tenors, let me tell you. But he has a lot of fun. His music is beautiful. So
that's great.
That'll be a great show next year.
Oh, so, good. We'll put it down.
Yeah, for sure.
Oh, you've been serving for a long time in the public service field. How do we get more people involved, or to even just care?
That is such a great question. Thank you for bringing that up. I've had these conversations with people talking about the less birthday challenged. We're saying those that have celebrated perhaps less birthdays than I have, to be engaged and involved, and there are people out there that want to be involved, and they're fearful that they don't have enough knowledge, and I think if anything shows that that's not your willingness to be engaged and informed and so forth is important. You will learn what you need to learn, especially if you're engaged and willing to learn it. So it's not like you never come with credentials of having known how to do this, because there is no playbook for being on public service or being on council. But I've talked to a lot of people, and I've been encouraging, especially women, because I feel like there is a lack of women on our council, needless to say, and we've had historically some very strong women: Edie Rogers, Donnie Beer, Alice Wright. We've had some amazing women that have served on council, and I think it's time for the women to take their place back on council too. I think that diversity would be good, and so I think that's sort of the area of some of the people that I'm talking to are some of the younger businesswomen in town that have been involved and engaged and so forth, and I think they could be a great asset and provide a lot of insight
Yeah,
on council.
that's good to know.
Yeah, that is.
Hint.
I feel like a lot of people too, they talk about it being so overwhelming to take the first step to become involved in the community. What would you suggest to those people that are hesitant to take that first leap?
Get a strong core.
Yeah.
Your sphere of influence. Talk with them. Vet them out and see how they feel about your service and so forth, and they will be your support.
Yeah.
I mean, and engage the current council. Talk to them. Ask questions. They're all very approachable as far as city council is concerned. And our county council, for the most part, and even our state representatives are very approachable. I mean, if you have interest in anything, any realm of that level of service, Shannon Erickson, Tom Davis, Bill Herb Curbsman, Weston Newton, they're all so approachable with reference to questions and how you can become more involved. And I encourage people that have interest in running, and some people that have run before and not been successful, to put themselves back into commissions with the city or with the county and grow in that knowledge, because once you've served on a commission with the city or with the county, you have a much more attuned feel for how things operate and how things work. I can remember when I first ran, and it wasn't that I was coming in with an idea that I was going to change things, but because of the Clarendon annexation and the new city hall was being built, and we used to call the county complex the Taj Mahal, or the Beaufort's Taj. And so then we're building this huge building across the street, which was intelligent because we consolidated services that were spread out all over the city.
Right.
But so, I mean, there was no criticism to doing that. It was just that I felt there was a need to be more engaged with what was happening and how things were being done. And so, but, when I got on council, there is a learning curve. And it's not like I was going in there and I was going to make any radical changes.
Right.
But until you're actually there, sitting on the dais or working in the processes by which the wheels of city government or county government work, you don't realize how slow that really is. I mean, because it's a process.
Right.
And it's transparent. The intent is to be transparent and for people to be engaged and involved. And people sometimes, because of their own busyness and factors in their life, they don't have the freedom to be as involved as they want to be until something really piques their interest. Yeah. And then, they're like, how did this get to this point? And it's like, we've been talking about it for 3 months. Yeah. But, so public engagement is a really important part, something we've tried to push certainly in the last 5 to 7 years for a great deal of more engagement with the public, and opportunities through our planning commission and the redesign metropolitan planning commission for the city, so that there's a lot of opportunity for public input, especially on projects and code changes and everything that we're working on right now.
Yeah.
So
that's good to know.
that's an important part of it.
Yeah, I'm even thinking from the perspective of that one person that but what's that one place that I just start? Where I go to learn, would that be maybe just going to a city council meeting and just sitting in and hearing?
It's a great opportunity to come and just see the process by which we do it. And we've refined it over the years to where we like the county, have a consent agenda where we try to push things that are mundane and not necessarily that we have to go through every single item. For a period of time when we had 2 meetings a month, we would really do very succinct meetings. You knew everything that we were doing. And you certainly can still know everything that we're doing from the standpoint of the consent agenda, but there's a lot of stuff in there that we've vetted at work sessions, and they're regular budget adjustments and things that are very common occurrences, and they don't have to be presented each individual one. They can be done as a consent agenda, and that's worked very well to streamline. Since we've gone to 1 meeting a month, it helps us not have as voluminous a coverage on the agenda schedule as it is before, had been before. So
we were talking earlier about the attendance decreasing so much. Why do you think that is?
Well, I mean, one opportunity is that you can watch it.
Yeah.
We've done a much better job since COVID about streaming our meetings, Zooming and Facebook. And so we have the opportunities where people can actually watch them at home. And I have many people that text me during the meeting and they're watching it at home and they have a question or something, and I see when I turn down to my phone, it is not because I'm not paying attention to what's going on. I'm responding to constituents that are watching the meeting online and don't want to zoom in and ask a public question. So not trying to be inattentive.
Do y'all have a pretty good online?
We do actually.
Tune-in? Yeah.
Our tune-in is, since COVID, it's gone down since what we had with Zoom meetings and COVID at
Right.
COVID time, but we still have a really good engagement, so
Okay.
we're really pleased for that. But we'd like more people to be in the gallery because it's more interesting to have the conversational side when people have questions and want to come up to the podium and get, we have sections in the beginning of meetings and the end of meetings for public comment. So people can be engaged with both the agenda items or any items that they want to talk about. And just being in the work sessions that are prior to the council meetings, it's a very open dialogue. If people in work sessions have questions about what we're talking about, the public is availed opportunity to ask those questions and be part of the conversation.
All right, I'm going to switch gears from politics and just go back. I just want to know if there was one place that you wish could still be here in Beaufort, what would it be?
Oh, gosh. I wish the old community center, which is where the public library is now, could have been rehabbed and maintained as a community center, a center where we would have had a place for people to meet and have public meetings and any number of things. It was an old building, and Henry might have had it taken down, actually. Thinking about that now. My mother and Henry were classmates in school. Yeah.
Oh, that's so cool.
That building would have been really great. I wish the Gold Eagle Tavern was still here.
Yeah.
That would be wonderful. I only remember that as a child. It burned and sat derelict for a long time before it was taken down. But those would be iconic things that would have been great. And there's some historic structures that we've lost, unfortunately, that would have really been wonderful if they could have been rehabilitated, because we have such an amazing inventory of historical buildings here, which is wonderful. But wouldn't it have been great if the original Sea Island hotel had been left instead of been taken down. Those kinds of structures that would have been just iconic. The old bathhouse. If we still
I don't even
had
think
the
I
old
know about
bathhouse.
that.
I didn't know we had a
Wait,
bathhouse.
what?
There was a public dock, a bathhouse. It was in the river right beyond where the marina is, and probably in front of about the Cuthbert House, or even maybe the Scarboroughs. And it was a public bathhouse. It was the beach, because there was no bridge to Ladies Island. And there was Brookmire Beach on Ladies Island, but there were no bridges going out to the beaches.
Oh my gosh.
So, not when I was a child. Don't get me wrong, I'm going back a generation when my mother was a child. The first bridge, the Woods Bridge, not the Woods Bridge, but the Ladies Island Bridge was built in 28.
Wow.
And then the second one in 65, or 60, early 60s, late 50s, when they replaced the Woods Bridge now. And there weren't bridges out to St. Helena until in the 20s and 30s. So,
I just can't believe this is the first time we're hearing about the bathhouse.
I've never heard.
I'm still stuck on this. That's
not Roman baths. It's a bathhouse. A little bit different. No. You can find it, and Historic Beaufort Foundation has some pictures of it.
okay. We'll have to go check
And
it
they
out.
have
Cool.
swim platforms and, men and women changing rooms, and
Wow.
really cool.
That is too funny. Well, Mike, thank you so much for joining us today. This has been fun.
Thank
is
you
a
all so much.
pleasure.
It has been fun.
Thank you.
I had a really good time.
Good. Anything else you want to add before we cut it off?
No, just jumping back just a little bit to engage people
Yeah.
for public service. This opportunity that if you have any interest in running for council, we have council elections coming up in 26, and I'd love to talk to anybody who might be interested. It's a great job. It's very fulfilling. It is time consuming, but it is a fulfilling job. It really is. You'd love it.
Thank you, Mike.
Thank you.
Appreciate it.